Dear soul, understand this fundamental truth. You exist not by chance, but by divine design. Every aspect of your existence, from the rhythm of your heartbeat to the unique way your mind processes the world, was crafted with intentional love. You are not an accident floating through space and time. You are a deliberate creation breathed into existence with specific purpose woven into your very DNA. Long before your physical form took shape, your essence was known and cherished. Before you drew your first breath, destiny was already coursing through your spirit. You are not a lost traveler seeking meaning in an empty universe. You are meaning incarnate, a living expression of divine intention planted in this world to fulfill a mission that belongs to you alone. The restlessness you sometimes feel, that sense of being small in an overwhelming world, is not evidence of your insignificance. It is your spirit recognizing that you were created for something greater than mere survival. You were designed to rise above the noise with clarity, to stand firm in the truth of your identity, to walk out a purpose so unique that no one else, regardless of how similar their journey might appear, can replicate what you bring to this world. Your life is not an experiment subject to random outcomes. It is a carefully drawn blueprint, detailed and alive with potential. This blueprint doesn't control your every decision. It honors your freedom while revealing the intention behind your creation. It encompasses your natural gifts, the depth of your emotions, the things that ignite your passion even when others cannot understand why, your talents, and yes, even the burdens you carry. Nothing is coincidental. Everything serves as coordinates guiding you toward alignment with your greater calling. Your unique essence. Within you lies something that no other person possesses. While others may share similar gifts or callings, no one carries your exact essence. Your personal history, your scars, your experiences. These are not limitations or mistakes to be corrected. They are the distinctive lens through which divine light shines in a way it cannot shine through anyone else. You are a unique reflection of infinite creativity. Not a broken thing requiring repair, but a wonder waiting to be fully revealed. Have you noticed how certain moments seem to reach into your core and awaken something deeper than words can express? These moments touch your soul's purpose, the profound calling that lives within your spirit. You were never meant to exist on the surface level of life. You were created to live from your center, from the place where your spirit connects with the divine. This is where authentic guidance originates, not from obligation, but from revelation, and the growing realization that your life unlocks something eternal. The human experience is not a test to prove your worth. It is a journey of unfolding, of becoming who you truly are. This transformation involves releasing false beliefs, letting go of shame, and stepping into the illumination of truth. That truth begins with this understanding. You are not merely existing. You are participating in a divine story, authored from the beginning of time, the shaping of your purpose. You may not yet see the complete picture of your purpose, but you are closer to it than you realize. Every experience you have lived, joy and sorrow, success and failure, has been shaping, refining, and preparing you. Nothing in your life is wasted. Even your detours and delays are being rewoven into the design. Perfection has never been a requirement for your calling. What is needed is willingness and surrender. From this foundation, dormant gifts awaken and buried callings ignite. It is not too late nor too early. It is precisely the right time. The divine knows what you carry because it was placed there. The fears you harbor are also held and transformed. Despite everything, you are ready. You were not created to drift aimlessly through life. You were made to live with divine direction. This does not guarantee that your path will always be crystal clear, but it promises that you will never walk alone. Step by step, you are being guided into greater alignment with your true self, and with each step, more of the blueprint is revealed. Finding your authentic voice. Your purpose is not found in performance or the applause of others. It is discovered at the intersection of your soul and divine spirit, where what makes you come alive aligns with what the world desperately needs. You do not need to have everything figured out. You simply need to follow the voice that already knows the way, the voice that will never lead you astray. You are here on purpose, and you are here for purpose. No pain, detour, or fear can erase what has been placed within you. Your divine calling is not fragile. It is secured in something greater than this world. There is fierce commitment to seeing it fulfilled in your life. You are beloved creation, an instrument of love and impact in the earth. You were designed to bring light and change, to reflect divine presence into places only you can reach. Do not minimize what you carry or downplay your story. You are the answer to questions someone else is asking. You are proof that the divine still speaks, still heals, still moves. Reading the signs. The divine has been communicating with you all along through ordinary moments, quiet whispers, and seemingly random events. The signs have always been present, not loud or forceful, but persistent, like a song you can almost hear if you listen closely enough. The divine does not shout because seeking is valued. There is no hiding because relationship is desired. Every time you pause to wonder if there is something more, that very question is an invitation to look deeper. What you call coincidence is often divine coordination. The moments you dismiss as luck are frequently divine leading. You have noticed patterns, repeating thoughts, people appearing at exactly the right time, circumstances aligning with your silent prayers. These are not illusions, but fingerprints of divine presence, guiding you gently yet intentionally. The discomfort you feel in places that once felt safe is also a sign. The stirring in your heart when you hear certain words, the unexpected tears, the thoughts that persist. This is not your imagination. This is your spirit recognizing truth, your soul remembering what was placed there long ago.
There is a deeper part of you beyond what you consciously know or have been taught that is fully aware of your divine assignment. That part of you is not confused. It is beginning to rise and make itself known. Speaking through all circumstances, divine communication uses everything, not just moments of glory and worship, but moments of confusion and pain. It speaks through beauty and through brokenness, because even disappointments carry direction. Even the doors that closed were signs steering you away from what would have dulled your purpose or silenced your voice. You have been protected in places where you thought you were abandoned. Your calling has been preserved by preventing you from settling for less than what you were created for. Every delay that felt cruel was actually a divine reroute to something richer and more fulfilling. People have been brought into your life not necessarily to stay, but to spark something within you, to ignite a memory, a passion, a part of you that had gone dormant. Sometimes their purpose was not permanence, but activation. Their departure does not mean you missed your way. It means their role in your journey has been completed. Even the pain they caused can become part of your calling, as every betrayal transforms into wisdom and every loss becomes a seed for new growth. Trusting your inner compass. The longing inside you is real and was placed there intentionally. It is the compass pointing toward your deeper truth. You are not made to be content with mere existence. You are made to live fully, intentionally, purposefully. The ache you feel when not aligned with your calling is not dysfunction, it is direction. A reminder that you are more than what you are settling for. Listen for divine guidance in quiet moments, in the spaces between distractions. When you disconnect from noise, clarity rises. It may sound like your own thoughts, but it carries divine clarity. This voice is not always thunder. Sometimes it is the conviction that will not leave, the idea that keeps returning, the dream that persists even when logic suggests giving up. You have been given intuition, a holy compass aligned with divine spirit. It is not mysterious, but practical, the way your soul responds to what aligns with your purpose. When something feels alive, expansive, and peaceful, your spirit is recognizing alignment. When something feels forced, draining, or heavy, your spirit is signaling disconnection. Learning to listen and follow peace is crucial because divine purpose does not come with chaos. It comes with clarity and quiet courage. Your unique journey. Do not compare your path with others. Some awaken to their calling through dramatic moments. Others find it quietly over time through simple obedience. Do not despise your way simply because it does not look like theirs. Every path is tailored to the person walking it. Your journey is sacred because you are walking it in divine partnership. The purpose is not merely the destination, it is the journey itself. It is every day lived in connection with the divine. Every yes you give, every moment you choose truth over fear. Signs will continue to appear in your path, confirmations, meaningful coincidences, conversations that awaken something within you. Pay attention, document them, celebrate them. These are affirmations to your heart that you are not alone and are on the right path. Even when you do not feel these signs, trust that they are still coming. Divine communication is not silent, but strategic, always speaking to hearts willing to listen. Your life is full of signs because your purpose is active and unfolding in real time. It does not begin someday, it is already happening. Unlocking your potential. The potential stirring inside you has been there all along, not waiting for permission from the world, but for your agreement with divine purpose. You are not lacking what you need. You have not missed your moment. You are not too late or too far behind. Everything required to fulfill your divine purpose already exists within you, waiting to be awakened, sharpened, and released. The unlocking begins not with striving, but with reflection. Pause and look inward through the lens of love, not judgment. Ask yourself what you carry. What burdens rise in your heart when you see injustice or suffering, when you witness beauty or breakthrough? These burdens are not flaws, they are sacred pointers to what matters most to your soul. Your heart aches for what you are meant to heal. Your passions are not frivolous or indulgent. They are vital parts of your blueprint, the things that make you come alive, the ideas that energize you, the causes that compel you, the dreams that ignite you. These are whispers from divine spirit, guiding you toward work only you can do. The calling does not come from exhaustion or guilt, but from passion, overflow, and alignment with what brings life to your soul. Take time to explore these passions and trace their roots. Remember the moments, even as a child, when something within you lit up. That spark was not just imagination, it was identity revealing itself. The world may have tried to silence that spark, replacing it with pressure or performance expectations, but it is being reignited. You do not have to be famous to be impactful or loud to be powerful. You only need to be fully yourself, fully alive in the design formed within you. Building on your values. Purpose flows from connection to your core values, what you truly believe, what you will stand for, and what you will not compromise. Your values are the anchor of your purpose, giving your actions meaning and your decisions clarity. When you align your choices with your core convictions, your life begins to move with power and intention. You stop drifting and start building. Fear may arise in this process, doubts that whisper you are not enough, that it is too risky, too late, or too complicated. These voices do not originate from divine source, which never speaks through fear but through peace. Where divine leading occurs, provision always follows. The tension between longing for more and fearing what it might cost is natural, but what lies beyond obedience is not loss, it is liberation. Confronting fears requires not logic, but truth. You are not alone, powerless, or unworthy. You have been chosen, equipped, and surrounded by grace. Every fear is an invitation to lean deeper into divine love, and perfect love casts out fear. You do not need to be fearless to move forward. You simply need to let faith speak louder than lies, taking steps forward. Small steps are acceptable and valuable. Obedience does not require a complete map. It asks only for a yes. One step, one action, one moment of trust. This is how you move into your calling and unlock your potential. With each step, you will be met with provision, encouragement, and clarity you did not previously possess. Clarity comes through action, power through doing, and you are more ready than you feel. You may believe you need more qualifications, experience, connections, or confidence, but divine calling qualifies those it chooses. Divine power uses what the world overlooks, turning weakness into vessels of strength. Some of the most profound impact comes not from polished performance, but from raw honesty. From someone who dared to say yes while shaking, who dared to rise after falling. Perfection is not required, faithfulness is. Look around and recognize that lives are waiting for your yes. People will be encouraged by your story, healed by your presence, transformed by your obedience. You are not unlocking your purpose solely for personal fulfillment, but for the sake of others who will find hope through what you create, carry, and become. This is the ripple effect of divine calling. It always overflows beyond yourself. Gracing the journey. Living a purpose-driven life is not about achieving a single moment of perfection. It is about embracing the sacred journey of becoming. The path is not straight and paved with certainty, but winding and filled with learning, growing, falling, and rising again, all under divine protection and guidance. Flawless execution is not required for divine pleasure. Authenticity and willingness to keep walking and trusting are what matter, even when the map is unclear and the road unfamiliar. Many believe that stepping into purpose should make everything easy, but the path of purpose is paved with depth, not ease. Depth comes through process. Your journey is not evidence of failure, but of formation. You are being shaped through every step, every challenge, every relationship, every mistake, and every experience of grace. You are becoming someone who can carry spiritual weight, the kind of strength that can hold vision without collapsing under pressure. Perfection is not the goal, evolution is, becoming more like who you were created to be, releasing false identities, stepping out of limiting beliefs, and saying yes to transformation, even when it costs comfort. This is the life of purpose, not a highlight reel, but a sacred unfolding, honoring hidden impact. You are not behind because your progress is invisible to others. Divine perspective sees everything and measures not in outcomes but in alignment. When your inner world reflects divine truth, that is victory. You do not need to have everything figured out to walk in purpose. You do not need titles, platforms, or clear 5-year plans. You simply need to walk in step with divine guidance. Show up where you have been placed, speak what has been put in your heart, and love those in front of you. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, advances divine kingdom principles. Every moment lived with integrity, kindness, and courage matters and builds something lasting. There are people changing the world from places no one sees. Mothers speaking life into children, friends sitting in silence with the grieving, teachers choosing compassion over control, artists creating beauty in a broken world. These are not minor roles, but revolutions of love happening quietly, and they are honored and seen by divine eyes. Learning from others. The stories of those who have walked fully in their purpose are never as neat as they appear. Everyone has wrestled with fear, doubted, questioned, and wanted to quit. What sets them apart is not perfection, but persistence. They kept going and trusted divine guidance more than the voice of discouragement. That trust became the foundation for great things. Consider those you admire, those who live with clarity, who inspire you, who seem to walk with destiny. What you see is the fruit of a long, quiet journey of saying yes, choosing surrender, and allowing divine pruning, planting, breaking, and blessing in rhythms only divine wisdom could sustain. The same principle applies to your life. Your purpose is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for permission. The permission you give yourself to be used right where you are. You do not need a massive platform to make significant impact, or thousands of followers to change a single life. Sometimes one life is enough. Do not minimize your purpose because it looks different from someone else's. Every life touched by love is a miracle. Every seed of kindness sown is a breakthrough. Every brave decision made in silence echoes into eternity. The power of community. You are not meant to walk alone. You were created for community, connection, and sacred companionship. Isolation is not strength, but a tactic designed to make you feel alone in your calling. Surround yourself with those who speak life, remind you of truth, challenge you with love, and hold you with grace. No great purpose is fulfilled in isolation. Divine purpose often gains clarity in community. When you begin living from purpose rather than just for purpose, everything shifts. You measure success differently, wake up with anticipation rather than anxiety, and find joy in the process, not just outcomes. Even when life is difficult, you experience peace because you know you are walking in alignment with your true self. This is the power of a purpose-centered life. It does not remove difficulty, but redeems it. It does not erase suffering, but transforms it. It does not promise perfection, but guarantees growth. You were never meant to wander endlessly, but to walk intentionally, not rushed, compared, or striving, but led, guided, and accompanied. The foundation of belief. Belief is the key that unlocks everything planted inside you. Not belief in what the world says about you, or belief based on fleeting emotions or circumstances, but belief rooted in divine truth about your life. Belief in who you are declared to be and what has been placed within you since the foundation of the world. Without belief, even the most sacred calling can remain dormant. When belief ignites, purpose awakens like fire. Undeniable, powerful, unstoppable. Your belief is not wishful thinking, but agreement with heaven. When you choose to believe in your worth, calling, and divine identity, you are not indulging fantasy, but aligning with divine truth and giving permission for divine power to move fully through you. The work of calling, equipping, and setting the stage has already been completed. Belief opens the door and gives your spirit access to the fullness of what has been prepared. You were not born to doubt yourself. That was learned through pain, rejection, comparison, and fear. The world taught you to shrink, hesitate, and measure your value by shifting standards. But you are being called back to original truth, to the place where your soul remembers that you were created in divine image, not as a copy, but as a revelation. You are not weak, broken, or lacking. You are divine design, breathed into being and held in loving hands. Overcoming doubt. The greatest strategy against your potential has never been to destroy your gifts, but to make you doubt they exist. If you can be convinced that you are not enough, you will never even try. Your talent is not what is feared, your belief is. Because the moment you believe, you begin to move, act, speak, and walk in authority that cannot be manufactured. When you do that, heaven touches earth through your life. This is why divine attention focuses relentlessly on your heart, not to control it, but to heal it. A healed heart begins to believe again, and a believing heart becomes dangerous to darkness. It becomes a light others can follow. When you believe in divine presence within you, fear loses its grip, doubt loses its volume, and others' opinions fade in the presence of divine truth. That truth declares you chosen, cherished, commissioned, capable, courageous, and called. Self-belief rooted in divine truth is not pride, but worship. When you say, "I believe I can do this," you are not exalting yourself, but honoring the one who placed that ability within you. Divine delight comes from your confidence when it is anchored in divine truth. There is rejoicing when you step out, not because you feel fearless, but because you trust divine presence goes before you. The contagious nature of faith. This kind of belief is contagious. It awakens faith in others and builds momentum that changes atmospheres. You may feel small at times, but even faith the size of a mustard seed moves mountains. The question is not how much belief you have, but where your belief is placed. If your faith is in divine truth, it is enough. Even if you feel it wavering, that can be worked with. Bring your shaking hands, trembling voice, and hesitant yes. Miracles can be done with the smallest willingness. You do not need to roar, you need to believe. Belief transforms how you see obstacles. What once looked like impossibility becomes invitation. You stop asking, what if I fail, and start asking, what if I soar? You stop playing small and start walking tall, not from arrogance, but because you know you are backed by heaven. So when you believe that divine power is truly for you, everything begins to change. You become braver and clearer. You stop waiting for permission and start living from purpose. Navigating seasons of waiting. There are seasons when divine plans seem invisible, when everything feels still, uncertain, or even backward. You wonder if you have missed a turn or if divine communication has stopped. But understand this, silence is not absence, delay is not denial, and stillness is not stagnation. These seasons are not wasted time, but preparation, foundation building, and calibration. Divine activity continues even when evidence is not yet visible. What appears to be a pause is often the deepest work happening within you, work that must occur before visible breakthrough arrives. You are walking through divine rhythm, not a race. Your journey is neither linear nor meant to mimic anyone else's path. There will be detours, not because of failure, but because divine love is protecting deeper alignment. Some things you called setbacks were actually redirections, orchestrated with purpose to keep you within the frame of what has been ordained for your life. Divine love is not just gentle, it is strategic. Your path is guarded fiercely, and when necessary, the way forward is blocked if it means preserving your destiny. Divine timing. There are assignments on your life requiring specific timing. Just as a seed cannot be forced to grow before its season, your purpose unfolds at the speed of your maturity, surrender, and divine orchestration. You are not waiting idly. You are being refined, deepened, and strengthened. You are shedding the unnecessary and learning to hear divine guidance more clearly, to walk not by sight but by trust. Every day, alignment occurs around you, people, places, provision, all moving behind the scenes to prepare for when it meets your readiness. Sometimes things are hidden, not from you but for you, storing treasures in secret places until your heart is ready to carry them with integrity and joy. Good is not being withheld. Ground is being cultivated so that when blessing comes, it will not crush you or slip through your hands. You are growing into someone who can sustain the weight of what is being given. In these quieter seasons, listen for subtle nudges, small directions, and daily steps. Purpose does not always arrive with dramatic announcement. Often it shows up as a prompting to speak, a door to approach, or an idea that persists. Do not despise small beginnings. They are often the birthplace of the most significant impact. Divine kingdom grows like a seed, not a spectacle. Do not look for loud, look for real recognition of faithfulness. Do you feel hidden, overlooked, like your gifts have gone unnoticed and your progress unseen? Everything is seen. The nights you chose faithfulness when no one was watching, the tears shed in secret while still showing up in strength, the moments you encouraged others while silently questioning your own journey. This is integrity and worship, and it has not been missed. Heaven has recorded every act of obedience, every step taken toward divine truth, while carrying weight you never asked for. This is the soil where destiny grows. This season is not punishment, but a proving ground. A place where noise is stripped away so you can remember your true name, where the old falls away so the new can rise. Some discomfort you feel is not because something is wrong, but because something within you is growing, stretching, preparing for expansion. Purpose presses before it flourishes, and you are being pressed, not to break, but to release deeper oil from your life. Be patient with this part of your journey. Allow divine timing to set the pace. Trust that divine action is not slow, but precise. What feels like delay is actually the synchronization of heaven's rhythm with the unfolding of your story. Rest in divine precision. When it comes together, when the right door opens, the right person arrives, the vision becomes reality, it will be right, full, and will not need to be forced. You may be tempted to compare, to look at others whose purpose seems to be exploding while yours feels hidden. But do not measure your journey by another's timeline. You are not being rushed, you are being rooted, and deep roots produce lasting fruit. What you are building now, though invisible, will not fade when storms come. You are not being left behind. You are being set apart. Remember, purpose is not a destination, but a posture, a way of living, a constant agreement with what is placed in front of you today. Sometimes it looks like leading many, other times it looks like loving one. Sometimes it feels exciting and clear, other times it feels slow and ordinary. But if divine presence is in it, it is never insignificant. If it is born of obedience, it is always sacred. The weight of calling. The weight you have carried is seen not just in your hands, but in your heart. The quiet questions that rest in your chest when the world grows still, the ache of not yet seeing what you have prayed for, the wondering if your purpose is still reachable or alive. You have grown tired, and sometimes you have wondered if the promise was real at all. This response is understood, and there is no disappointment in your weariness. You have walked through long stretches of uncertainty, hoped through dry seasons, and kept moving when the road offered no confirmation. That is not weakness, that is faith. But hear this clearly. Divine purpose was never given to you just to let it die in the wilderness. What has been placed inside you is incorruptible, rooted deeper than your feelings, anchored beyond your circumstances. Purpose is not dependent on external validation. It is truth etched into your spirit, and no delay, disappointment, or detour can cancel it. It remains untouched, waiting for your agreement, not for your perfection, silencing false voices. There will always be moments when doubt tries to speak louder than truth, when circumstances scream, "This will never happen," when fear whispers, "You missed your moment." But those voices are liars. You have not missed your window. What is yours by divine design cannot be stolen. Though the vision may tarry, it will not fail. Divine work is not finished. You are still in the unfolding, and the next chapter will not look like the last. You have looked at others and wondered how their doors open so quickly, how they seem to have found their stride while you are still searching. This ache is understood, but look again. Look at your own life, at how far you have come, at how your heart has grown softer, wiser, more patient. That is evidence of purpose doing its deepest work. Building not surface, but soul, longevity, legacy. Your calling is not on hold. It is maturing. You are being prepared not just to receive, but to sustain. The difference matters. Many can receive breakthrough, but not all are prepared to carry it with integrity. You are being made into someone who will not crumble under the weight of answered prayer, someone who will honor the gift without losing grounding in divine truth. That is why the journey has been long, not just preparing the outcome, but preparing the vessel, reviving buried dreams. Now I want to address the dream that feels buried, the one you have stopped mentioning because it feels too fragile, too painful, too foolish. That dream is seen and remembered well. Divine presence was there when it was born in your spirit, when your eyes lit up with wonder and your heart dared to hope. That dream has not died. It is resting, being refined. It has not been abandoned, but is being breathed upon even now. This time it is happening differently. The dream is not awakening for your sake alone, but for the sake of the people your purpose is designed to reach. Your perspective is shifting, so you see it not as personal achievement, but as sacred responsibility. Because true purpose is not about self-fulfillment, but about becoming a vessel through which divine love, wisdom, and power flow into others' lives. Rise again, not with pressure to perform, but with peace in knowing that divine control is absolute. Let your heart breathe, your hands open, your faith expand. This is not the end of the story. It is the moment before movement. You are standing on sacred ground. Even if it feels like nothing is changing, the best work happens in hidden places, in quiet resolve, in deep surrender. In your present state, you are not disqualified by your doubts, not behind because your steps have been slow, not invisible just because others have overlooked you. Divine awareness knows exactly where you are and is still guiding, preparing, calling. The words spoken over you have not been forgotten. The divine mind has not changed. What begins is finished. What is breathed into is sustained. What is ordained is fulfilled. You are not alone, not in silent struggle or waiting. Divine presence is closer than your own breath, whispering again, keep going, your purpose still stands. When the door opens, and it will, you will not just walk through it. You will walk through as someone transformed, someone who knows what it costs to trust in darkness, someone who knows how to carry purpose with compassion and wisdom, someone who will not forget the valley once they reach the mountain. You are being shaped for more than a moment, for impact that echoes. Every step, even the unseen ones, has brought you closer. You are not who you used to be. You are becoming who you truly are. That is the power of walking in divine purpose. Living your purpose now. You are already walking in your purpose, even if it does not yet feel like it. You have pictured it as some future arrival, finish line, or spotlight moment. But your purpose is not waiting somewhere far ahead. It is with you now, in the conversations you have, the compassion you show, the choices you make when no one else is looking. You are not waiting to begin. You are living it moment by moment with every decision to keep going, growing, trusting, even when it does not all make sense. You think of purpose as something grand and distant, but it is seen in the ordinary, in how you encourage friends, in words you write when alone, and how you persevere when no one applauds. Purpose is not always loud or public. It is faithfulness day in and day out to what has been placed in your hands. However small or temporary it may seem, if it has been placed in your hands, it is part of the plan. If you are faithful with what is now, you will be entrusted with what is next. The question of missing it. You have asked, what if I am missing it? But you are not missing anything. You are being prepared. You are being refined. You are learning to listen, love, discern, and lead. What feels repetitive is reinforcing your foundation. What feels unseen is building your endurance. What feels unclear is calling your faith into deeper alignment. The divine purpose is not hidden from you. It is hidden within you and is being drawn out as you walk in relationship with divine truth. You are not called to build a brand, but to build a life that reflects divine glory. You are not called to seek platforms, but to stand on the foundation of truth. If your voice is raised, it is because your character can carry it. If your reach expands, it is because your heart is rooted in divine truth. Divine concern is not with appearances, but with authenticity. Something has been formed within you that no storm can shake. See yourself not as someone chasing a dream, but as someone carrying destiny. There is a difference. Dreams are desires you hope to reach. Destiny is identity fulfilled. When you live from destiny, when you embrace the truth that your life was authored with intention, you begin to show up with purpose in every place you are sent. Recognizing divine leading. You have asked, how do I know I am on the right path? Look at the fruit. Do you see more peace even in pressure? Do you sense growth even if it is slow? Do you find your spirit stirred by things that once seemed distant or impossible? That is purpose breaking through. That is divine leading, not with pressure, but with peace, not with anxiety, but with steady conviction. The divine spirit never drives, it leads. If you feel peace, even in uncertainty, you are closer than you think. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were created to thrive in connection with divine truth, yes, but also with others. Purpose flourishes in community. Do not resist the connections that are brought into your life. They are part of the building, part of your becoming. Your purpose is not threatened by others' success. You are not in competition with anyone. You are not behind or lacking. There is enough space in divine kingdom for everyone's light to shine. The call on your life does not shrink in someone else's blessing. It grows when you celebrate them. The journey of becoming. Purpose is not just what you do, it is who you become. It is how you respond to divine voice, how you love when it is hard, how you stay faithful when it is quiet. When you look back one day, you will see that the most powerful moments were not the ones that looked impressive to others, but the hidden ones. Prayers no one heard, battles fought in silence, decisions made in quiet corners that shaped who you are becoming. This is what divine attention seeks, your becoming. Because when you live from your true identity, purpose flows naturally. You no longer chase it. You embody it. You no longer fear the future. You begin to shape it with every act of obedience. This is how legacies are born and how heaven touches earth. The closeness of guidance. Come close and remember what your heart needs to know. You are not wandering without direction. You are being led even now with precision that surpasses understanding. Every step, pause, and seeming detour is wrapped in sovereign guidance. You have not lost your way. You have only lost sight of how closely divine presence walks with you. Divine presence has never stopped moving you forward. Even in moments when you felt still, you have never been without this presence. Your purpose has never slipped from divine view. There is a reason the path has been winding, a reason it has not always made sense. Every question has been welcomed, not because explanations are owed, but because closeness is desired in the wrestling. Purpose is not just about understanding, it is about relationship. Walking with you matters more than rushing you into outcomes. The journey matters because it is in the journey that you are refined, taught, and shown who you truly are. Signs of approaching fulfillment. You are closer to the fullness of your calling than you realize, and the signs have been growing clearer. There is new boldness rising in you, even if you are still learning to trust it. There is clarity surfacing, not loud or overwhelming, but sure. You feel it in your spirit. Even when your mind tries to argue with it, that is divine voice. That is the alignment between divine heart and yours. The more you tune into it, the stronger it becomes. The more you obey it, the more doors will open in perfect timing, releasing limiting beliefs. Let go of the fear that you are not enough. Release the pressure to perform. Your identity is not in your productivity, but in your belonging. You are divinely owned and have always been. You do not need to strive for worth. You already carry it. You do not need to earn a place at the table. A seat has already been prepared for you. When you understand this, when you live from this place of security, purpose becomes joy, not burden. Many look for calling in grand gestures, but divine purpose is revealed in daily obedience. It pours out through the work of your hands, the love in your voice, the choices you make when no one is watching. You may not always see the fruit in real time, but every seed is tracked. Every act of kindness, every faithful yes, every time you chose truth over ease. These are not small things, but building blocks of your divine legacy. That legacy will not fade or die with your body. It will echo generation to generation because when you live in purpose, you live beyond yourself. You become a vessel of change, a living answer to someone else's prayer. This is how divine presence reveals itself through you, how heaven touches earth through lives that dare to believe they matter. Trusting the unfolding process. You still wonder at times how it will all unfold. You wish for a map, timeline, or visible guarantee, but something better is offered: divine presence. You are not given all answers at once, because if you were, you might run ahead without divine companionship. Instead, you receive daily provision, what you need for this step and then the next. Guidance comes by peace, not pressure. Revelation comes in parts, so you stay close to the whole. Remember this: even your failures and regrets are not powerful enough to cancel your purpose. Imperfections have already been factored into the plan. What was meant for harm will be used for good. The parts of your story you wish you could erase will be redeemed and become testimonies, bridges, revelations of grace for others walking behind you. You will not be defined by what broke you, but known by how you rose with divine help. You are stepping into a new season now, a season where your inner life and outer path come into greater harmony, where what has been cultivated in private begins to shine in public, not for recognition, but for impact. Walking in authority. You will walk into rooms where you once felt unworthy and carry authority born not of pride, but of process. The kind of authority that cannot be faked because it was formed in fire. Do not shrink back now. You have come too far to retreat into comfort. This is not the moment to doubt, but to remember. Remember what has been spoken, how you have been held, what you have survived. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are stronger, softer, braver. You are becoming a living example of what it means to be called and carried by divine love. Walk forward, even if your legs still tremble. Walk with assurance, not because the road is smooth, but because divine guidance is sure, unchanging, faithful, and present with you. With divine presence, purpose will never pass you by. It will always come to meet you right where obedience finds breath. Your life was written with eternal intention, and now that intention is beginning to manifest in how you think, speak, love, and lead. Gracing your divine identity? You have walked this far in divine companionship, and now clarity emerges. Your life is not random. Your journey is not meaningless. You have not been wandering aimlessly. You are a person of divine purpose, born with eternal significance, crafted by divine hands, released into this world to carry light in a way no one else can. This truth is not distant. It is alive in you now and has always been. You needed only to remember. Remember that before the noise of the world, there was divine voice calling you by name. Before expectations were placed on your shoulders, there was divine design forming in your spirit. Before shame tried to cover you, there was divine delight in every detail of who you are. The divine mind has never changed about you, not once. Through every season, faithful and messy alike, you have been seen as beloved. Everything written for your life is still active, unfolding, waiting for your full agreement. You do not need to keep striving to find what has already been placed inside you. You do not need to keep searching for a purpose that has never left you. Purpose is not something to chase. It is someone you are becoming. You carry destiny in your spirit. You reflect divine image. You are not here just to fill space or pass time, but to reflect divine nature. Love deeply, build what lasts, restore what is broken, and release heaven into earth through the simplicity of your obedience. Responding to the stirring. You have felt the stirring in your restlessness, in your dreams, in conversations that will not leave you. That stirring is divine spirit awakening you to more. Not more burden or striving, but more alignment, peace, joy in walking in step with divine rhythm. You do not have to wait for perfect conditions. You do not need a stage or spotlight. You need only to say yes. One step, one act of obedience, one choice to believe again. That is how purpose becomes power. You have a part to play in this world that no one else can fulfill. You were not created just to fill a gap, but to be a voice, light, presence that brings something uniquely divine into the places you walk. You are divine ambassador, artist, builder, peacemaker, visionary, healer, teacher, encourager. You may not wear a title, but you carry divine touch, and that is what transforms lives. Do not underestimate the power of your presence. Do not diminish your impact just because it does not look like someone else's. You were never meant to copy, you were meant to carry. You carry wisdom through your scars, beauty through your pain, redemption through your story. When you show up fully alive, fully yourself, fully surrendered, heaven is revealed through you in ways no one else can replicate. The life you are called into, this is the life you are called into. Not perfect, but purposeful. Not without difficulty, but knowing its direction. Not escaping pain, but transforming it. Not seeking applause, but creating legacy. Knowing the weight of divine presence and releasing it into everyday places, families, neighborhoods, workspaces, hearts. Do not wait for some distant arrival point. Live now, fully present, fully aligned, fully rooted. When you live from purpose, you stop merely surviving and begin thriving. You begin investing in things that last and wake up each day with clarity, even when details are still forming. You have permission to walk boldly now, not because you are certain of every outcome, but because you are confident in divine faithfulness. You can trust divine timing and leading. You can trust that even when the way is unclear, divine wisdom is not confused and will finish what was begun in you. Stepping into the light. This is your moment to step into the light of who you truly are, not defined by fear, not ruled by shame, not shackled by old stories, but alive, whole, walking in rhythm with heaven, not waiting for affirmation from the world, but walking in the affirmation spoken over you since the beginning. You are divinely owned. You are ready. You are chosen for this. Purpose is not pressure, it is privilege. The honor of carrying something sacred and letting it shape the way you live, love, and lead. You do not need to try harder. You need only to believe, breathe, begin. Divine expectation is not for you to be more. It is asking you to be you, fully, freely, faithfully. As you do, you will watch lives change, including your own. You will witness how every piece of your story was preparation. You will understand why it had to happen the way it did. You will see how everything was being woven into something greater. The ripple effect of purpose. When you walk in your divine purpose, the impact extends far beyond what you can see or measure. Your obedience creates ripples that touch lives you may never meet. The kindness you show to a stranger becomes the hope they needed to keep going. The courage you display in small moments becomes permission for others to be brave. The love you pour out becomes the healing someone desperately needed. This is the multiplying effect of living authentically from your divine calling. You are not just building your own legacy, you are participating in the restoration of the world. Every time you choose love over fear, truth over deception, hope over despair, you are releasing heaven into earth. You are becoming part of the answer to humanity's deepest needs. Your purpose is not limited by your circumstances, education, background, or resources. It transcends all earthly limitations because it originates from an eternal source. The same power that spoke the universe into existence is the power working through you. The same love that holds the stars in place is the love that holds your dreams. The same wisdom that orchestrates the seasons is the wisdom guiding your steps. Breaking generational patterns. As you step into your divine purpose, you are not only fulfilling your own destiny, you are breaking patterns that may have held your family line captive for generations. Your willingness to walk in truth becomes freedom for those who come after you. Your courage to live authentically gives your children and their children permission to do the same. The healing you pursue in your own life becomes healing for your entire lineage. The faith you demonstrate in difficult seasons becomes a foundation of strength for future generations. The love you choose to embody becomes a legacy that will outlive you by centuries. This is the power of one person saying yes to their divine calling. It is never just about you. It is about the countless lives that will be touched, changed, and transformed because you had the courage to believe that your life matters, that your voice has value, that your story has purpose. The sacred assignment of influence. Every person you encounter is a sacred assignment. The coworker who seems difficult, the neighbor who keeps to themselves, the cashier who looks tired, the family member who challenges you. Each one represents an opportunity to release divine love into their world. You may never know the full impact of a smile, an encouraging word, a patient response, or a simple act of kindness. Your influence is not measured by the size of your platform, but by the authenticity of your heart. A mother who raises her children with wisdom and love has immeasurable influence. A teacher who believes in struggling students shapes futures. A friend who listens without judgment becomes a lifeline. A leader who serves with humility transforms organizations. Divine purpose is not about becoming famous. It is about becoming faithful. It is not about being seen by many, but about seeing clearly. It is not about having a voice that reaches thousands, but about using your voice to speak truth, hope, and love wherever you are planted. Seasons of preparation and manifestation. Your life will flow through different seasons, each with its own purpose and gifts. There will be seasons of preparation when growth happens in hidden places. These times may feel slow or uneventful, but they are actually periods of deep root development. Like a tree extending its root system before bearing fruit, you are being strengthened and established for what is coming. There will be seasons of manifestation when dreams begin to take visible form. These periods bring excitement and fulfillment, but they also require wisdom to handle success with humility and grace. The preparation seasons are what equip you for the manifestation seasons. There will be seasons of pruning when unnecessary things are removed from your life. These times can be painful, but they are necessary for your continued growth and fruitfulness. What feels like loss is actually making room for greater abundance. There will be seasons of harvest when you see the fullness of divine faithfulness in your life. These are times of celebration, gratitude, and giving back. The fruit of your life blesses not only you, but countless others. Trust the season you are in. Each one has purpose. Each one is necessary. Each one is preparing you for the next level of your divine assignment. The mystery and the manifest. Living in divine purpose means learning to dance between mystery and manifestation. There will always be elements of your calling that remain mysterious, aspects you cannot fully understand or explain. This mystery is not meant to frustrate you, but to keep you dependent on divine guidance and wonder. At the same time, there will be clear manifestations of divine purpose in your life. Moments when you know without doubt that you are exactly where you belong, doing exactly what you were created to do. These manifestations serve as confirmation and encouragement for the journey ahead. Learning to be comfortable with both mystery and manifestation is part of spiritual maturity. You do not need to understand everything to obey what you do understand. You do not need to see the whole staircase to take the next step. Faith thrives in the tension between the known and the unknown. Your unique contribution to the whole. You are part of something much larger than yourself, a grand tapestry being woven throughout history. Your thread is unique and irreplaceable. Without your contribution, the tapestry would be incomplete. Your role may seem small from your perspective, but from the eternal viewpoint, it is essential. Do not compare your thread to others or wish you had a different color or texture. Your unique characteristics are precisely what make your contribution valuable. The struggles that have shaped you, the experiences that have formed you, the perspective that is uniquely yours, all of these combine to create something that no one else can offer. Your authenticity is your gift to the world. Your willingness to be yourself fully and completely gives others permission to do the same. Your courage to walk in your calling opens pathways for others to discover theirs. Sharing your story. When others ask how you became who you are, you will smile and say, "I simply believed that my life was written with eternal intention." Now go and share this message with someone who needs to remember who they are. Help them find the path they were born to walk, because their life too is written with eternal intention. Your story is not waiting to begin. It has already started. Though you cannot yet see the full picture, something eternal is being painted. Trust the process. Trust what is being done in you. Keep walking, not perfectly, but purposefully, because divine presence is with you, always has been, and will never stop calling you forward into the fullness of who you were created to be. The blueprint of your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Every chapter, every season, every moment of joy and struggle has been weaving together to create the masterpiece of your unique existence. You are not behind schedule. You are precisely where you need to be to take the next step into the fullness of your divine calling. Remember, your life is written with eternal intention, and that truth is your foundation, your hope, and your invitation to live boldly in the purpose that has been yours since the beginning of time. With eternal perspective, from heaven's viewpoint, your life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated symphony. Each note, whether major or minor, contributes to the overall beauty of the composition. The difficult seasons are not mistakes. They are essential movements that create depth and meaning in your story. When you begin to see your life from this eternal perspective, everything changes. Setbacks become setups. Delays become divine timing. Closed doors become redirections toward something better. Pain becomes the birthplace of compassion. Weakness becomes the dwelling place of divine strength. This perspective shift is not about denying the reality of suffering or minimizing the pain of difficult experiences. It is about recognizing that there is a greater story being told through your life, a story of redemption, restoration, and divine love. Your willingness to trust in this greater story, even when you cannot see how the pieces fit together, is an act of profound faith. This faith becomes the foundation upon which your purpose is built and the fuel that sustains you through every season of your journey. The truth that your life is written with eternal intention is not just a comforting thought. It is the bedrock reality upon which you can build a life of meaning, impact, and joy. Embrace this truth. Live from this truth. Share this truth. And watch as your life becomes a living testament to the goodness, faithfulness, and love of the one who authored your story from the very beginning. Many look for calling in grand gestures, but divine purpose is revealed in daily obedience. It pours out through the work of your hands, the love in your voice, the choices you make when no one is watching. You may not always see the fruit in real time, but every seed is tracked, every act of kindness, every faithful yes, every time you chose truth over ease. These are not small things, but building blocks of your divine legacy. That legacy will not fade or die with your body. It will echo generation to generation, because when you live in purpose, you live beyond yourself. You become a vessel of change, a living answer to someone else's prayer. This is how divine presence reveals itself through you, how heaven touches earth through lives that dare to believe they matter. Trusting the unfolding process. You still wonder at times how it will all unfold. You wish for a map, timeline, or visible guarantee. But something better is offered: divine presence. You are not given all answers at once, because if you were, you might run ahead without divine companionship. Instead, you receive daily provision, what you need for this step and then the next. Guidance comes by peace, not pressure. Revelation comes in parts, so you stay close to the whole. Remember this: even your failures and regrets are not powerful enough to cancel your purpose. Imperfections have already been factored into the plan. What was meant for harm will be used for good. The parts of your story you wish you could erase will be redeemed and become testimonies, bridges, revelations of grace for others walking behind you. You will not be defined by what broke you, but known by how you rose with divine help. You are stepping into a new season now, a season where your inner life and outer path come into greater harmony, where what has been cultivated in private begins to shine in public, not for recognition, but for impact. Walking in authority, you will walk into rooms where you once felt unworthy and carry authority born not of pride, but of process, the kind of authority that cannot be faked because it was formed in fire. Do not shrink back now. You have come too far to retreat into comfort. This is not the moment to doubt, but to remember. Remember what has been spoken, how you have been held, what you have survived. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are stronger, softer, braver. You are becoming a living example of what it means to be called and carried by divine love. Walk forward, even if your legs still tremble. Walk with assurance, not because the road is smooth, but because divine guidance is sure, unchanging, faithful, and present with you. With divine presence, purpose will never pass you by. It will always come to meet you right where obedience finds breath. Your life was written with eternal intention, and now that intention is beginning to manifest in how you think, speak, love, and lead. Embracing your divine identity. You have walked this far in divine companionship, and now clarity emerges. Your life is not random. Your journey is not meaningless. You have not been wandering aimlessly. You are a person of divine purpose, born with eternal significance, crafted by divine hands, released into this world to carry light in a way no one else can. This truth is not distant. It is alive in you now and has always been. You needed only to remember. Remember that before the noise of the world, there was divine voice calling you by name. Before expectations were placed on your shoulders, there was divine design forming in your spirit. Before shame tried to cover you, there was divine delight in every detail of who you are. The divine mind has never changed about you, not once. Through every season, faithful and messy alike, you have been seen as beloved. Everything written for your life is still active, unfolding, waiting for your full agreement. You do not need to keep striving to find what has already been placed inside you. You do not need to keep searching for a purpose that has never left you. Purpose is not something to chase. It is someone you are becoming. You carry destiny in your spirit. You reflect divine image. You are not here just to fill space or pass time, but to reflect divine nature, love deeply, build what lasts, restore what is broken, and release heaven into earth through the simplicity of your obedience. Responding to the stirring. You have felt the stirring in your restlessness, in your dreams, in conversations that will not leave you. That stirring is divine spirit awakening you to more. Not more burden or striving, but more alignment, peace, joy in walking in step with divine rhythm. You do not have to wait for perfect conditions. You do not need a stage or spotlight. You need only to say yes, one step, one act of obedience, one choice to believe again. That is how purpose becomes power. You have a part to play in this world that no one else can fulfill. You were not created just to fill a gap, but to be a voice, light, presence that brings something uniquely divine into the places you walk. You are divine ambassador, artist, builder, peacemaker, visionary, healer, teacher, encourager. You may not wear a title, but you carry divine touch, and that is what transforms lives. Do not underestimate the power of your presence. Do not diminish your impact just because it does not look like someone else's. You were never meant to copy, you were meant to carry. You carry wisdom through your scars, beauty through your pain, redemption through your story. When you show up fully alive, fully yourself, fully surrendered, heaven is revealed through you in ways no one else can replicate. The life you are called into, this is the life you are called into. Not perfect, but purposeful. Not without difficulty, but knowing its direction. Not escaping pain, but transforming it. Not seeking applause, but creating legacy. Knowing the weight of divine presence and releasing it into everyday places. Families, neighborhoods, workspaces, hearts. Do not wait for some distant arrival point. Live now. Fully present, fully aligned, fully rooted. When you live from purpose, you stop merely surviving and begin thriving. You begin investing in things that last and wake up each day with clarity, even when details are still forming. You have permission to walk boldly now, not because you are certain of every outcome, but because you are confident in divine faithfulness. You can trust divine timing and leading. You can trust that even when the way is unclear, divine wisdom is not confused and will finish what was begun in you. Stepping into the light. This is your moment to step into the light of who you truly are. Not defined by fear, not ruled by shame, not shackled by old stories, but alive, whole, walking in rhythm with heaven, not waiting for affirmation from the world, but walking in the affirmation spoken over you since the beginning. You are divinely owned. You are ready. You are chosen for this. Purpose is not pressure. It is privilege. The honor of carrying something sacred and letting it shape the way you live, love, and lead. You do not need to try harder. You need only to believe, breathe, begin. Divine expectation is not for you to be more. It is asking you to be you fully, freely, faithfully. As you do, you will watch lives change, including your own. You will witness how every piece of your story was preparation. You will understand why it had to happen the way it did. You will see how everything was being woven into something greater, sharing your story. When others ask how you became who you are, you will smile and say, "I simply believed that my life was written with eternal intention." Now go and share this message with someone who needs to remember who they are. Help them find the path they were born to walk, because their life, too, is written with eternal intention. Your story is not waiting to begin. It has already started. Though you cannot yet see the full picture, something eternal is being painted. Trust the process. Trust what is being done in you. Keep walking, not perfectly, but purposefully, because divine presence is with you. Always has been, and will never stop calling you forward into the fullness of who you are created to be. The blueprint of your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Every chapter, every season, every moment of joy and struggle has been weaving together to create the masterpiece of your unique existence. You are not behind schedule. You are precisely where you need to be to take the next step into the fullness of your divine calling. Remember, your life is written with eternal intention, and that truth is your foundation, your hope, and your invitation to live boldly in the purpose that has been yours since the beginning of time.